Hey everybody, so today we are making chicken soup, homemade from the house. And let's go ahead and just get started. Okay, so I had 4 chicken breasts that I just diced up in little cubes. And I didn't even season them because we're going to put so much flavor into this soup that we don't have to do too much seasoning on the chicken. So I have about a fourth of a cup of vegetable oil, and I went ahead and it's hot. I threw the chicken in there and I just cooked it around for a little bit. And I didn't really get too much brown on it, but I cooked it like about 3/4 of the way, and then I went ahead and I pulled the majority of it out because I'm going to add it back later because I hate when my chicken is just not juicy and so on. So I went ahead and I pulled out some of that chicken and left a little few pieces in. The oil is not infused with the flavor of the chicken breast. Now I do prefer to use thigh meat. The person I was cooking this for does not like thigh meat. So I put a little bit of Badia seasoning on the chicken chunks that I pulled out and on a few pieces that were left inside of my Dutch oven. And my Dutch oven, this Dutch oven is old. Y'all can see all the enamel and everything is gone, but it's a great Dutch oven. So, okay, I went ahead and put in about 4 onions. I put in about 2 to 3 stalks of celery. And I also am going to put in this Trinity mix that I picked up at Publix that has like bell peppers, onions, and celery in it as well. And then I'm going to add about a half a pound of just these pretty round cut carrots that I picked up at Publix as well. And we're just going to go ahead and mix all that together so that fat at the bottom can coat these vegetables and start rendering these vegetables down. Now this probably looks like a lot, but you got to understand the vegetables are going to shrink up. The onions are going to get really, really translucent and almost just kind of become one with the soup. So I put in about maybe a tablespoon of thyme because where I'm from, you ain't cooking nothing if you really ain't got no thyme in it. Then I'm just going to mix that all in there as well and make sure that all those vegetables get coated with that thyme as well. And then I'm going to put in 2 ears of niblet corn that I cut off fresh off of 2 corn cobs that I bought that I just had in my fridge. And let me tell you, corn makes it so nice because it has such a sweetness that it adds to it. All right, so the garlic I had didn't really look so good, so I used this garlic paste. I put roughly, it's about maybe about a tablespoon of this garlic paste in there. If you have fresh garlic, by all means, just country dice it up and just throw it in there. So let's go ahead and continue to coat all these vegetables because we're building our flavor for this soup. All right, so now I'm going to use just a little bit of this chicken bouillon. I use maybe a half a tablespoon, and I'm being really careful because I did use it by Dia seasoning, and that has salt. The chicken bouillon also has salt. And I'm also going to use some chicken broth that has salt. And I'm also going to use some chicken soup base that also has salt. So we just have to be really careful with how much we use of these items. All right, so I put 2 48-ounce containers of chicken broth in there. And then we're going to go ahead and let that just kind of marry all together. That's the second one there. And we're going to turn it up on high, and then as soon as it starts boiling, we're going to bring it down on medium low and just let this sit out. I think I'll let this cook for about an hour and a half is what I did, and just let it go. And then eventually I'm going to just cover it and just let it do its thing. And there we go. So as that just starts to roll and boil, we're going to bring it down on my gas stove. It's number 4, which I believe is medium low. And so we're just going to just let that just kind of continue to just boil. And I let it stay uncovered for a while. And then I added the chicken flavored soup mix from Grace. It has little noodles and stuff like this. I did eventually put some dumpling in this, and not dumpling that you traditionally use in the South, but like Caribbean dumpling. I made some of those, and I'm going to show you the dough in a second because I didn't put a recipe up on it yet because I ain't really 100% like guaranteed on dumpling yet, on Caribbean dumpling. So we're kind of working on my recipe and try and get that together. So there go the chicken chunks, and I season them, like I said, with a little bit of Badia seasoning. And I throw those back in there so they can start marrying. And let me tell you guys something. The longer you let this soup cook, the better it tastes. It was so delicious by the time I finally sat down to really eat it, and we sat down to eat it. So at the end of it all, I'm going to throw in some snap peas that are going to add a nice little sweetness to the soup as well. And there go my dumpling dough that I'm there experimenting with. And my dumplings are now in the soup at this point. And here are the little chicken chunks and everything that's going on in here. And the snap peas are really going to give a nice green punch color. That's why I like to put it in at the end so that the color develops and looks really, really nice. Even at some point they're going to lose their color because they're sitting in soup. But right before you serve it, if you just throw in some snap peas and just get that nice pretty beautiful color. And snow peas are even as nice as well for that pretty color. So there is that soup. That is that homemade chicken soup, and we enjoyed it very much. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.